Okay, and welcome back to Morrowind. So today we're just going to do a brief little bit of cleaning up. We've fully cleared out the Dwemer mine. We got all the way to the water room that we ran into, and it has multiple layers. You need levitate to get all the way to the top. There's a single chest at the top, but we also know now that enemies respawn whenever you reload the tile. So that's something to keep in mind for the rest of our playthrough. Just going to do, probably do the Thieves Guild quest now just because it's close by. But then we'll probably get back on that Telvanni grind, or maybe go to the Morag Tong and start our murder parade. So yeah, let's get to it. This one is, let's see, we're working for the Thieves Guild. We're looking for Sugar Lips Abisi. Told me that Razid at Fat Legs Drop Off in Hilla Ode promised to deliver some Dwemer artifacts to the Thieves Guild. Hilla Ode is a backwater town of fishermen southwest of Balmora. You can get there to follow the old trail down the River Odai to get there. Okay. And these are just different copies of the same dialogue from different people. That's very interesting that it records it that way. So today we're, I guess, answering the question of why we play Morrowind to become better content creators. To become better creators of anything ever in general. So something that struck me today while I was trying to write my paper for history is just how difficult making anything in the world actually is. And the process by which you go through creating a video game such as Morrowind is, you know, this pretty aggressive contest between resources and time and the design and goal parameters that you have for yourself, and maintaining those creative standards as you make your product. So I don't know, it's just something that, like, I was looking at my history library, which of course is you know, pretty big at this point in my life, and it just struck me the amount of work that was in front of me. You know, the amount of time and energy that people have made and then sold to us for a very cheap price comparatively to the effort that people put in. And just how wonderful that is for human creation. That everything that you see, everything that you read, all the YouTube videos, you know, all of the video games that we play, all the books, all the history that we watch is someone saying to us that we, you know, are valuable enough to have this work made for them. And of course, you know, the trade of money for it. But, you know, that's also, I've been trying to work on feeling that's fair rather than exploitative, if it is fair. You know, the idea that business is only evil when you make it evil, and, you know, corporations in many ways have done a great job of showing us that that can happen, but that it doesn't have to. And I don't know, it just helps me live better. It makes me less depressed to think of it as kind of in the Buddhist way of every breath that you take is a tree showing that they love you, that there's, you know, compassion and love for all living things all around us all the time. And that's evidenced in art, and that's evidenced in the physical world around us, and that's evidenced by listening to these words and, watching a YouTube video of a very, very old game that I've decided to record myself playing. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe my mindset is being affected by finally having like a professional quality microphone for the first time in my life. And, it helps it feel a lot more concrete, I suppose. It helps it feel more real. So one of the things we want to do is level up our intelligence. So one of the things we need to do that is our summoning. We want to do conjuration a lot this next time. We want to get our conjuration up pretty much to the next level. But actually, no, before that we need endurance up and personality. So the spear is probably the correct first weapon for us. I watched Dune yesterday and it was exceptional. It was a really, really great example of really fantastic art that can be made in the modern space, in the modern era. It's also like, it's interesting when you're living through a golden age because you kind of forget what the world would be like if you didn't have that stuff. And it's something I think about a lot, which is like how lucky we are to have video games as a cheap, accessible form of, entertainment in our lives. And we're so used to kind of, I don't know, having a narrative of society that teaches video games as like a vice or an addiction or, something to be avoided. But I think it's more important to celebrate the art that you have available in your life when you have it, because it's a miracle. It's like an insane conflagration of resources and time that has come together to be able to allow this to happen. My brother, during last year's Besties, which we've been rewatching in preparation for this year's Besties, had a great quote that was from a journalist, I think a video game journalist, that's like, the more I learn about video games, the more I'm amazed that any of them ever get made, ever. Just because of the amount of time and energy and work and the multitude of disciplines that come together to be able to make them. And the truth is, many game companies fail. It's very hard to make it as a game company. And it's something to keep in mind as I complain about Elder Scrolls 6 taking, so long to come out in my lifetime, and Skyrim being basically re-released over and over and over again. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, it's what the hell? A voriplasm? I've never seen that before in my life. Okay, is that poison? Can we loot it? Maybe not. Doesn't seem to be an enemy. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. Spear skill. There we go. Our spear skill is getting pretty up there. That's a good thing to have. 38. Not too terrible. Not too shabby. Now we should have gone to the church first, so we can refresh our stats. Another thing that happened to us was we had the sleepers awake idea, which is the disturbing dream that we happened. Yo, Noxid, what's up? The yellow health bar is added in the DLC, Noxid. Hail Noxid asks, what's with the yellow health bar above my health bar? That is the enemy's health. I think it was added in Blood Moon, I believe, at the DLC, way back in the day. So I had a disturbing dream. I can only recall one part. A tall figure with a golden mask led me among the dead as though a wedding celebration. I heard many voices, but no lips moved. I strained to breathe, but my chest didn't move. The tall figure spoke with each figure as he passed among them, laughing and joking as if they were alive, but they made no reply. I tried to cry out, but without breath, my tongue fluttered in vain. I spoke with one who called himself a sleeper. He called me by name and said, "You cannot deny your lord, Dageth-Ur. The sixth house has risen, and Dageth-Ur is its glory." He made no sense at all. I think he must have been mad. It's a little creepy that this cult is so into you and definitely knows your name, like 100%. So something to keep in mind, that apparently we're being watched all the time by this cult from the shadows, and that they know our name and are keenly aware of our movements. So just as the blades have eyes and ears of the Empire everywhere, they are not the only spies in Morrowind. So, I don't know. It's one of those things that's like, I remember being afraid of them when I was a kid, when I first played through the game, but a lot of what, like, I suspect that I'm learning from the temple is that, like, Dageth-Ur and the Sixth House and the Nevermarine, or the Neverine, is being lied about in the popular culture of religion. Like, they're not telling the whole story, the Tribunal, and with us, the Tribunal Temple. So, I don't know what to believe here. This house seems kind of isolated. I wonder if this is the thief house. Oh, there's some gold. Also, we got very rich from that Dwemer mine. Selling everything from that dungeon has gotten us 5,000 gold, almost 5,800 gold. So that's a huge volume of money compared to what we were working with before, which is great. It really shows you that, like, this game does reward dungeon delving as one of its, you know, old D&D-esque things. And they have plenty of money sinks for you to spend that money on, so it's not just worthless and useless. It's a great way to level up your skills. Come on. Come on. Okay. So yeah. Stand in Shallows shack. I hope he's not hostile. Oh. Is he okay? Did he die? Stands in Shallows. Ectoplasm is all over. A note from Maffin. Ooh. Oh my god. Okay. I didn't know how you did it, but it's now clear that you are to blame for bringing Voriplasms to Vardenfell. What were you thinking, smuggling them all the way from Blackmarsh? This must end here and now before we are unable to contain the situation. Oh, wow. Okay. So apparently he's brought an... of course, there's moon sugar here. That's probably why it was the moon sugar talking. Anyway, so it looks like this person, who is an Argonian, took an indigenous monster from his homeland of Black Marsh and brought it here to Morrowind. That can be potentially extremely dangerous. An invasive species like that can really disrupt the ecosystem of a whole continent. I wonder if it's our job to kill them all. This seems like maybe Morrowind Rebirth content, considering you can't dispose of the corpse, and they don't seem to be lootable, which is a bit disturbing to have an enemy that just gives you nothing. Except skill points, skill upgrades, I suppose, but even still, I'd rather practice on something else, but it seems terrifying. They seem like a ghost-like entity. I wonder if we'll be affecting them with any of our damage if we didn't have a silver spear. Silver, in this game, as well as in real-life mythology, is notoriously effective against mythical creatures or undead creatures. Silver bullets famously having a profound effect on werewolves, but also on vampires. A silver cross goes a long way. Is this diseased? Oh, it's a swamp scrib. Different. That Quama Forger really put up a fight. Swamp scrib. Different than regular scribs, I suppose. Okay. I mean, they seem to die and stay dead at least somewhat. I don't all the way want to test that theory, but let's give it a shot. Okay. Very unsettling. There's another one over there. Let's at least try to get to the location that we're supposed to be going to. So, south. It's a cool little aside that Morrowind Rebirth adds. We may also need to repair our spear. We might have wanted to do that back in town in Balmora. I do love how in Morrowind it makes you really grateful and thankful for towns, because they're genuinely things that you cannot do in other parts of the world. I don't know, it just centers the gameplay around the difference between civilization and not civilization, especially with the Ashlander clans, in a very, I don't know, a profound way that I like a lot. I wonder if we can soul trap Voriplasms, and I wonder how much soul they have. It's also potentially one of the things for the Dwemer Spectres, is I wondered if we could soul trap them, as they are ghosts. It might be worth... So there is a table on the unofficial Morrowind Wikipedia that has all of the soul values. The problem is, I don't know if Morrowind Rebirth has altered those values. So might be something that we have to keep in mind. And also the way that leveling up works is something that I've been working on a lot. It is just you gain progress for a successful hit, regardless of how much damage that hit does. So if you want to level up quickly, just do the fastest strike that your weapon has available to you. And if you want to do damage, you hold it up. You charge up every attack so that it has the potential to do the higher damage number. Let's just check what we have. All right, we're almost done with Spear. Fantastic. I'm so happy that we haven't had as many problems with disease. Watch, cross our fingers. As I say that, I hopefully won't get disease from anything else. That, I suppose that's just a common phrase in COVID crisis times anyway. Okay, here appears to be the town. All right, let's check our journal again, see exactly where to go. So Razahid at Fat Legs Drop Off. Okay. You should get full health just in case there's a fight. Can never put it past them. These thieves might turn on you at any moment, of course. It is interesting that, like, the rules of the Thieves Guild is like, don't steal from us, there is honor among thieves, and then many of your jobs are to enforce that rule. So clearly that rule is not just automatically working and active. It takes people like us to go around and make sure that that stays true. And that's one of the, at least for the Balmora Thieves Guild, that's like, appears to be what our quests revolve around. I love the spear because it lets us be outside of the range and do damage without getting attacked in return. Okay, so that should be the level ups that we needed for a full endurance level. Pretty happy about that. A lot of the problems I'm running into right now are about not having enough magicka and not having enough health. And a full level up in intelligence will give us the magicka, and a full level up in endurance will give us the health. So, looking forward to that. Alright, Aedra and Daedra. This one we've already read before. This is the distinction between the Elvish translation of Aedra as ancestor and Daedra, which is not our ancestors. So this is a crucial distinction of the Dunmer, whose fundamentally split in ideology is represented in their mythic genealogy. So because some of the ancestors' figures of Dunmer are newer gods in the tribunal, which is Vivek and Alamexria and Sotha Sil, which is, again, a contentious and I don't know how we feel about that. About those three being gods when they didn't used to be, because as the Nevermarine, you're the reincarnation of Saint Neverar, who used to be their friends, and I think you didn't want them to be gods, using the Dwemer heart. But we'll have to play the game more to figure that out. I've forgotten so much about the story. Daedra created the mortal world and are bound to the earth bones. Daedra, who cannot create, have the power to change. As part of the divine contract of creation, the Aedra can be killed. Witness Lorcan and the moons. So some of the moons were killed, it looks like. And maybe Vivek killed them. The Protean Daedra. Protean meaning able to be changed, I believe. We did look that up, right? Yeah. Tending to or able to change frequently or easily. Able to do many different things. Versatile. That is the definition of Protean. Protean Daedra for whom the rules do not apply can only be banished. Mood. I wonder if we'll be able to summon some Daedra. Actually, have we explored this area before? I don't think we have. Okay. A Halalu guard. Okay, so this region is under the protection of the Halalu house. Which makes sense, considering it's where it is. And also the fact that there's some sneaky stuff going on. Look at you. Looking for hired help. Most of the native Argonian population of Black Marsh is confined to the great inland waterways and impenetrable swamps of the southern interior. There are a few roads here, and most travel by boat. The coasts and the northwestern upland forests are largely uninhabited. For ages, the Dunmer have raided Black Marsh for slaves. Though the Empire has made this illegal, the practice persists, and Dunmer and Argonians have long-standing and bitter hatred for one another. Yeah. Okay. I don't feel like I want to necessarily manage some hired help right now. It seems like that would be a little difficult. Fat Legs drop off. Okay, let's save first. Maybe Chitin short sword, 6 to 8. Do we have? No, we saved a silver short sword from before.
Speak quickly. I should probably wash up.
Hides his face. Nice armor hides his face. Okay, what do you want? We cannot persuade him, it looks like. I could tell you're in Hela Ode. And if you'll take a little advice, you won't be here long. Got that glass drip. Yeah, absolutely. Glass has always been one of my favorite looks that the Elder Scrolls series has ever had. It's one of the reasons I like going light armor. It's just because glass looks so goddamn good. And ebony too, but, you know, weight is always a problem in this game, you know? It's one of the things that kept our friend Zeusfer from playing the Elder Scrolls series for a very long time is it always turns into inventory management, and you want to carry with you so many potions and scrolls, but they do add up over time. Like, everything weighs something, you know? Maybe the keys don't. I have to look at carrying around all the keys all the time. Folks aren't very friendly here, and they don't like nosy strangers. No offense, Outlander, but if you don't know the Bitter Coast region, you might get yourself in trouble. I don't trust you enough to talk about that. Okay, okay. So it looks like we're gonna have to do some illusion. Hey, Razid. You're the guy we want to see, aren't you? Maybe if you like us a lot, then we'll do that. Okay, maybe it's in here. So definitely kind of a smuggler's den. of sorts. With a back door, very convenient. Might wait until night. Let's see if what we can get by making him like us. The thing is, I don't want to level up my illusion skill because that will give me points towards leveling up, and I want both of those points reserved for intelligence. And illusion is a personality skill. Charm person. C, right? Yeah, CH. Charming touch. And of course it did. What could it be? Razid is glad to see you again. Please tell Razid what you want. What do my artifacts? Okay. The only other idea that we can have is doing luck. Let's see, do we have anything that increases personality? Heather. It's restore personality, though. Not just fortify personality. All right. Back to 48. It's only for 5 seconds, isn't it? Wow. 67. Oh, it's the trade of the smuggler. Alright, I guess I should slap you. Okay. Well, that didn't work.
Okay, I'm listening.
I have to get rid of that moon sugar. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. This person, we could kind of manipulate the way that personality works to get him to like us for selling off some of these things here. It's going to be a slow process. We're going to have to do this 50 times. But if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. One of the tedious aspects of gaming the system in older games is almost artificial labor or artificial grinding or artificial work. Of course, we don't have to do all this, but if the mechanics allow it, it's one of the things I talk about quite a bit with my roommate who is a game designer, which is always trust players to grind the fun out of every game that you make. You know, that they will ruin their own experience if you let them. And I found that to be fairly true. Yeah, I'm really happy with how the microphone has turned out. I hope that the audio quality is better and it continues to be better. Noxid says, Moon Sugar is just catnip, changed my mind. I mean, you're not wrong. It's absolutely loved by Khajiit, so there certainly appears to be a racial narrative about it, although we do see skooma at least being used more directly by Cyrodiils and some of the other races. They seem to be more into skooma, which is the refined version of moon sugar, which is clearly I don't know, I guess an analog for cocaine. He doesn't know anything about that, even when we ask him. Does he have Telvanni bug musk? Some cheap potions. Market restore magicka. Might not be terrible. Orcish helm. Orcish armor is often Shogun-esque or, Japanese Sengoku Jidai era. And they're pretty cool. They're more like samurai armor. Okay, well, this is kind of a puzzle. Saintly Curious. Turn undead 50 points for 10 seconds. I tried doing that with the ghosts. It did not seem to work. I wonder if their undead level was just too high to be able to turn them. It worked on the ghosts and I believe the skeletons, though. So I wonder if we should focus on leveling up our speechcraft skill with other random people. Or well, we can certainly level up this. Might be worth the money. Oh, where did she go? Alright, well, that's all we needed, I suppose. And then our new priority might just be to absolutely just level and find somewhere to sleep. Because we have pretty much everything we want, and if we do any personality work, almost at all, we are going to get that level in personality, and it's going to be wasted in illusion, which will translate to personality. So I want to avoid that. These are just some of the things we have to worry about when we're leveling in Morrowind. And I don't know. I'm trying to think of what a better leveling system would look like in the game. Because we have, like, clearly you want your skills to be the good versions of your character. That's why you pick them, is to build a certain character, but we're incentivized to not use those skills often in order to get the level ups that we want to be as potent as we want them to be. So it's absolutely a conflict, potentially. Oh, the skeleton didn't make it. Is that steel? Is that a steel cutlass? Doesn't seem like the ghost pathing is really... Okay. Yeah. It's a little janky. The way conjuration works in the game. Conjuration's always been one of my favorite skills in the Elder Scrolls series. I think it's an absolutely fantastic addition to the series, and if they ever took it out, I would be so sad. Just so sad. Oh wow, is that a longsword? Okay. Yes, we'll see how the ghost does. Seems to be low level, but seems to be stronger than the skeleton. Certainly lasts longer, which is one of the purposes of conjuration magic, is to also be a tank. And so in many ways it's defense and attack at the same time in the same spell. The Nyx Hound seems to be able to be hitting it with physical damage. I wonder if the Nyx Hound has magical weapons as its claws. Nyx Hound certainly seems to be running for it. Oh, that's a person. Hello. He's diseased. It does feel a little bit like Pokemon. I wonder if the ghost really is the best option here. It seems to do one spell and then attack. Just good old hound meat. We could always level up our intelligence through alchemy if we go back. We're also running low on our magicka. So enchanting is intelligence as well as alchemy and conjuration is. So there's 3 of the magical skills that give us magicka. I also wish that restore magicka potions were a little bit easier to come by. Let's see which one's closer. So enchant is at 40, conjuration is at 21. So enchanting is the one that we really need to boost. It's also easier to boost because it's lower by almost 20 points. Okay. So it seems like it has a fire spell that it likes to use. Okay, I think I'm going to call it here. We're going to investigate getting the level up that we need, which is just mostly grinding, and then we'll be back for some of the actual story of doing the Thieves Guild quest. All right, guys, I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for dropping by, and peace out.